it should have been a bigger song than it was, but it was kind of lost in translation because of the group. Howard stayed, but Jody and Jeffrey pieced out. Talk more music. We're going to talk songs, albums, artists, bands, groups, genres, all of it. So consider this the restart of that particular purpose for this channel. And we're going to talk about a song from the early 80s from a band or group rather that was, I don't even want to say they were in their last stages because the group name carried on for a few more albums and a few more years. But the classic lineup was done by the time this album and this song came out. Talking about Shalamar in 1983's The Look. This was the last time that Jody, Watley, Jeffrey Daniel, and Howard Hewett all worked together. Outside of a remix of, I can't forget which hip-hop or R&B act did or For the Lover and You remix in the 90s, but I know all three of them were on it. But other than that, they do not work together. Well, actually, Howard and Jeffrey still tour from time to time. I know they were touring with Carolyn Griffey at one point, Dick Griffey's daughter, but Jody Watley she's good on him. She's good on Shalamar. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. But the Look album, which came out in July of 1983, was a little bit more avant-garde for what Shalamar used to record back in those days. If you remember the Unsung episode that Shalamar had, which was one of the early ones and probably still one of the better ones in the entire series, mind you. Jody mentioned that Leon Sylvers, who of course was the in-house production man for Solar, said that it was going to be more of a synth pop, Brit pop sort of direction for the band. You could trace that back to A Night to Remember from the Friends album. But The Look was just all the way leaning into Duran Duran, Thompson Twins. Actually, Wham wasn't out yet, but you could tell that Wham was kind of influenced by that album. I mean, there were so many others that you could mention, but by that time, that iteration of Shalamar was done. They had a beef over in London that only 3 people in the room know what happened at that particular point in time. That's Jody Watley, that's Jeffrey Daniel, and that's Howard Hewett. And by and large, they ain't talking about what happened for the most part. I know Jody has. I mean, she had a YouTube series a while ago when that Unsung first dropped, talking about all the stuff that she felt was misrepresented in that episode. But the song I want to talk about, it should have been a bigger song than it was, but it was kind of lost in translation because of the group. Howard stayed, but Jody and Jeffrey pieced out. So over and over, it's one of those lazy melodies kind of songs. I mean, I won't call it lazy. I wouldn't dare call anything Leon Sylvers did lazy. I mean, laid back, I'll say. That's what I meant to say, laid back. It's more of a laid back rhythm. I mean, some people call it a slow jam. I call it a mid-tempo. It's on one of my favorite playlists for when I'm out running errands or when I go cover a basketball game of some sort. It's on my drive time playlist, which I call road tripping. I'll probably put a link to that in the description below. But over and over is this. Well, of course, it's Howard leading, and it's Jody on backing vocals, and allegedly it's Leon backing Jody and Howard on over and over because Jeffrey wasn't on that particular session at the time. That's what the rumor has been. Maybe if I'm lucky, either one of those 4 folks will be kind enough to clear it up for me somehow. But yes, over and over, of course, Howard is singing the lead as he often did, and it's just this really, and one thing for sure about a Leon Sylvers production, that bass is going to catch your ear because Leon was a trained bassist. Well, he trained himself actually, which is probably one of the greatest self-starters of all time. Like he said that he picked up a bass when he was like 14 or 15, and he would just listen to all the Motown stuff and count the beats between the verse, the chorus, and the bridge. And he said, if I hear something that's a hit, I could probably make one myself. And then he got his family band into a talent show. Then the Sylvers became a thing. Then once the Sylvers thing started to wear off a little bit, Dick Griffey said, I like this young dude. We need some new blood with this production thing over here, this new Solar thing I'm starting. Let me go see what Leon Sylvers is talking about. And so Leon Sylvers became the man over at Solar Records. But you can tell Leon Sylvers' production by the bass right away, because the bass is just one of those things that is just absolutely going to catch your ear when you think about the whispers. They boom, on the beat goes on boom, doom, doom. Same thing for Keep On Loving Me. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Like a Leon Sylvers bass, you know it. If you listen to music for any amount of time over the last 45 to 50 years, you know Leon Sylvers bass from a mile away. And over and over is no different. It's just like boom, 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 boom. And it's a love song basically. It's Howard talking about how, you know, this relationship has just got to last. You know, he could tell her over and over. You know, my favorite part is the end when he's like, I could go on forever telling you what I do, but forever's just not enough time to tell you over and over. I love you, girl. It's a jam. Like, it's one of those songs that if you didn't hear the look back then and you've heard it like through the miracle of streaming, because everything is just about everything is on stream. I mean, some of the good stuff, the digging in the crate stuff is still not on stream, but the record label stuff that, you know, a lot of folks have, you know, archived and things are on stream now. But if you've ever heard, if your first time hearing Over and Over in 2024, you'll be like, damn, this could be current today. And it was. I mean, the look overall was a very futuristic album for Shalamar at that time. But again, this was the last iteration of that group of Shalamar. But Over and Over is just a fun, laid back, chill. It's a groovy song, man. That's really all it is. It is a groovy song that I highly recommend that you get into when you have the opportunity. You won't be disappointed with the Look album overall because, of course, Dead Giveaway is on there. They were shooting the video for Dead Giveaway when they almost gave away each other to death. You know, apparently that beef was real strong with Jody, Howard, and Jeffrey at that particular point in time. But by the time the album came out in July in '83, they were all gone. Howard was still Shalamar, but Jody and Jeffrey had moved on. So, you know, Over and Over is like a testament. It's like their last stand in some respects because Shalamar, I mean, they had some hits after that. I mean, of course, Dancing in the Sheets was on Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack. They had a couple more grooves after that, but Howard went solo in 1986. Then, of course, there was just Mickey Freeze, Sidney Justin, and I forgot that one, Delisa Davis. That's crazy. I forgot Delisa Davis' name in that fast. But yes, after Howard left in '86, Shalamar was just like, who gives a damn? You know? I mean, and that sucks for Mickey, Sidney, and Delisa, but everybody thinks of Shalamar as Howard, Jody, and Jeffrey. That's just how it works. That's when the band was at their height. That's when they were doing Soul Train and American Bandstand and these national and world tours and all of those things. So Over and Over feels like their last stand is like a hit-making group because Over and Over was a song, again, that did not get enough run because Shalamar was in, you know, such disarray at the time. But I highly recommend you guys check out that song.